Hello and welcome to another video. In this video, we are going to talk about useMemo, why we use it, and how we can improve our performance. Also, I will do a coding section to show you exactly how you can use it. So let's dive into it. So as you see here, I created a diagram for you to explain you the useMemo in a better way. So in a normal React application, normally every time a component renders, all the calculation happens every time. And then we see the render output. But imagine we have a very expensive calculation that we don't want it to happen every time. What we can do to prevent the calculation from happening every time, we can see if that calculation really need to happen next time. So each calculation depend on something. So for example, if you have a calculation that is like a plus b, if a and b don't change, it means the result is always the same. We don't need to calculate it every time. So what we do here, as you see here in the diagram, useMemo provides us a syntax that says, hey, should expensive calculation happen? In other words, does any dependencies change from the last render that we need to calculate this thing again? If yes, then we have to calculate it again. If no, we can always use the memoized value. And then we see the render output. So the last thing I want to say is about the useMemo syntax. useMemo takes a value and an array of dependencies actually. I think it can be like this and this. Yes, an array of dependencies. If any of the dependencies change, the calculation will be triggered to happen again. And it will return a value. So let's dive into the code so I explain you how it works. As you see here, I have a React application. It's very simple, and I will leave a link to the repo for this code. But before that, let's see how it works. So this application has a performance issue that we want to fix via useMemo. So how we are going to do this? Let's see how it works. As you see here, I have two buttons here. One is add task. So every time I click on it, as you see here, we have a performing costly computation and then costly computation time. So every time we create add task, the computation happens, but actually we don't want this because the costly computation only should happen if we click on this button. As you see now, each time it changes, the result of the costly computation will change. So that's why we need it to be run only in this situation. So let's check the code. As you see here, I have an app function and I have two user states variables, and I have this costly computation that is just a 4. And it goes very long. That's why it can actually take some time in this machine. And at the end, we calculate the time for this computation. So, but what happens here? Because I have this line here, every time that this component renders, it will give us the result for this line even if the result is the same with the last time. So what we want to do, we want this one to run only if the counter variable change. We don't want changing in this variable have any effect on the calculation. So what we do here, if I add a use memo, and I add the counter as the dependency, you will see that it should act as we want. So let's see. I refresh the page, and I think I did something wrong. Yeah, it says use memo is not defined, so let's define it and go back, refresh, and as you see here, now we click on plus and costly computation happens. But if we click on add task, as you see, it happens very fast and there is no problem anymore with our computation. So as you see, use memo and it fixed the problem that we have. I hope this explains to you exactly how you can use memo inside your web applications. Thanks for watching, and I see you in the next videos. Thank you.